I don't know how or how you do it. You blow my mind without a word. Ooh, stuck upside down, I might be dreaming. There's no way back now. Take every inch of my body. Wanna dance with you all night long. Dive in, babe, you know we can't stop this. Come on and show me what you got. 'Cause I don't care if they think we're mad to be falling in love with you. I'll do it again and again and again and again. Why would I fight the things I'm feeling? Rather space out here next to you. Ooh, like astronauts, we're in the night sky and we won't come down. Make every inch of my body. Wanna dance with you all night long. Dive in, babe, you know we can't stop this. Come on and show me what you got. 'Cause I don't care if they think we're mad to be falling in love with you. I'll do it again and again and again and again. I don't care. Cause every moment with you makes me even lighter. I don't care. Oh yeah. Cause every moment with you. I don't care if they think we're mad to be falling in love with you. I'll do it again and again and again and again.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Thank you, those of you who are joining me. I wasn't even sure if I could get a podcast done this morning, but I managed to get my slides together, and here we are. Hey, Patricia Nixon. Yes, that's good forever. Forever and ever. Oh, thank you, everyone, for your comments on my book trailer video. If you go to the normal video tab, you should be able to see it. I'm so glad that you're all excited for this. And as the days and weeks approaching the book pre-sale and sale come, I will be reading like little experts. But of course, we will have like a book launch live and stuff like that. But for now, thank you so much for that and all your lovely comments. In all of the mess, because I think that's mess is an understatement, but I'll just go with that. In all of the mess that's happening in the world, I think we always have to find some humor, some light, some positivity. And Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart are giving us plenty of that at the Olympics. Quite a rebrand for Snoop Dogg, but I guess you can't be a gangster rapper forever. And he makes Martha look cool. So let's try and find the positives in what in a world where a lot is going on, a lot in the United Kingdom. in Palestine and in Congo and in everywhere else. Um, okay, one other moment that I actually wanted to highlight from the Olympics. Congratulations to these three women. The American team, who always kill it at the Olympic Games, but Simone Biles and Jordan Childs and the winner from Brazil, I think her name is Andrea. Amazing stories, all three of these women overcoming all types of horrors to get to where they've been, and an amazing show of sportsmanship from the American team, and Andrea, I mean, I've been watching the Olympics and she just seems like such a wonderful light. So congratulations to these ladies. The sportswomen at the Olympics have truly been inspiring. Truly, truly. All right. Over to royal news. Now over the weekend we saw the launch of the Parents Network from Harry and Meghan in association with Archewell, where parents can get support if they have been affected either indirectly or directly from social media, more specifically if their kids have committed SEicide. And they are now extending that partnership with the NSPCC, which is a major charity here in the UK, one of the biggest charities that works to protect vulnerable children. So they put this on their website, building a better online world. We know how hard it can be to help children navigate the online world. We have advice on how to talk to your children about online safety and resources to help you understand the risks and benefits of a child's online world. This page has been created with the support of the Archewell Foundation's Parents Network as part of the Archewell Foundation's focus on mental health. The foundation has built a community of families who are coming together to support one another and mobilize against online harm. And just to reiterate, NSPCC is the biggest charity in the UK that deals with this particular issue. So this is a major collaboration for Archewell in the UK. All right, let me just go back to the chat and see who's here. Hey, Reba. Hey, Patricia. Thank you so much, the Mod Squad, for coming in. Rebecca Andrade. I do apologize. I said her name wrong. Hey, Dee Dee. Great to have you here. All right. Next thing. This came out in the Telegraph. Students sexually abused at university where Princess Anne is a chancellor. Harper Adams University has been accused of allowing endemic physical abuse to occur during hazing ceremonies in the last 5 years. Hazing is quite an issue, particularly at these elite institutions. I um, saw a documentary about hazing surrounding universities in the US some time ago, and particularly elite institutions like Harvard, in these fraternities. Um, and it's usually mostly young men doing just awful things or being encouraged to do awful things to each other. Sometimes staff are involved, but it's basically just a culture of abuse. And I think some universities in the US have actually banned hazing, but here we have an example of it happening in the UK in this institution where Anne is a chancellor. I don't know what qualifies her to be a chancellor of this place, but the reason I bring this up is because obviously Princess Anne is not responsible for anything that happened at this institution. But as we saw with the situation, for example, with Africa Parks, there were all these calls for like Harry to say something, to get involved in some way, and then it later came out that they had actually gone ahead with issuing an investigation. So I don't know if Anne is going to say anything. I think at the very, very least, um, she could reach out to the victims, but I never want to hear again, if an organization faces allegations like this. Oh, Harry should do something, Meghan should do something. I haven't heard anybody in the UK press saying that Anne should do anything about this. And thoughts and prayers with the victims. Absolutely awful thing to go through. Light side, you should be sleeping. Yes, you should be sleeping. Why are you awake, light side? Okay, and obviously on with what's been going on here in the UK. Now, as of last night, I think the rioting has kind of subdued. There have been a lot of counter protests. So it's not as bad as it was when it all first kind of kicked off. And I think going forward now, it's definitely going to start to die down, especially now that the government are clamping down on people rioting. And just so we're clear, while I obviously do not agree with the sentiments of these people, there is a very big difference between protesting and rioting. Even though I don't agree with their sentiments, they have a right to peaceful protest, but you absolutely do not have a right to riot and trash communities in the way that many of them have used this opportunity to do. This all started because a male went and harmed and stabbed several young girls, and to use the opportunity to riot for the press and certain quarters of the far right wing to use this opportunity to kind of jump on this and further their agenda. It's just been absolutely awful to see. I don't even think most people have really. We didn't even get an opportunity to really digest what happened to those young girls and the grown-ups who tried to protect them. And I think what we're seeing now, to be honest, i- it's a build-up of a lot of things. It's a build-up of the tabloid press, the Jonathan Rothermere, Rupert Murdoch tabloid press, and the rhetoric that they spew. It's a build-up of government failures. It's a build-up of, I think, a lot of resentment that certain people in the UK feel against the government and the establishment, that they don't feel heard. I think it's a mixture of a lot of things, and it's horrifying to see, but I'm not surprised. And I know that Harry, who has spoken out about this, will not be surprised because no one, I think, in the last 6, 7 years has seen um, the level of vitriol that the British press can spew out than him and his wife. And when you look at the culture of hate that's been created around Meghan, it's obvious to see where a lot of these people suddenly feel so emboldened now, and how much of that vitriol and hate was just completely and utterly unnecessary. And as Harry said after his court case, our country is judged globally by the state of our press and government, both of which I believe are at rock bottom. Did Diana's son lie? Did he lie? Also, another thing that I do want to say is that I think a lot of people have been saying, this is mostly working class, right? Poor working class Brits. And now they may be the ones who are rioting, but let's not forget the middle class, the upper classes who share the same sentiment, but they're all nice and cozy in their nice houses. So let's not just turn this into like a poor working class issue. Yes, there are sociological, economical factors that contribute to people behaving in this way, but it's not just poor working class, and we shouldn't let that be um, the main narrative. Um, Light side of the moon, you are right, Anne. I still don't fully get what or how the incident happened. So it was for those of you who don't really know what sparked this. There was a dance. It was like a dance club, a dance event for little girls who like Taylor Swift, and they were having this dance event. I believe there were like 26 or 27 young girls there, and this guy, we still don't actually have a grown up picture of what this guy looks like. We know he's Rwandan, but they've only released like a picture of him when he was young for some reason. They haven't released I think it's because he was 17. I think it's because he's 17. That's the other reason why. Because there's rules around, whether or not you can identify someone um based on their age. So I believe that's the reason why we don't yet have a grown up picture of this individual. So they were having this dance class, and he went in and began frantically stabbing people. And in that, several people were injured and three little girls died. Um, we still don't really know anything in terms of motive. How did he know this dance class thing was going to happen? Why he specifically targeted these people? Was this someone who was in some way radicalized? We don't really know what the motive at all was. I suspected very early on um, that this was planned. This is just my suspicion. I think this was planned. I think he somehow knew that this event was going to happen, and he specifically targeted this group. Could there have been some level of misogynistic rage behind this? I do think so. Either whatever the case is, though, whatever we end up finding, absolutely tragic, absolutely tragic for these young girls and their families. And we haven't really had a moment to digest the absolute horror of this. And then we have people rioting. Light side, you said, these new age media money hungry heads really are wicked to instigate this narrative of division. Indeed. And, you know, Elon Musk, this apartheid love child, where is it? He goes online and says, "Oh, there's going to be a civil war." Imagine trying to incite even more agitation. And then you had Piers Morgan with his fake concern saying, "Elon, fake news was posted that the triple child killer was a Muslim illegal immigrant who came in on a small boat and was on a terror watch list. This prompted far right rioters to attack Muslims and asylum seekers. I haven't seen you mention or condemn any of this." Now, what Pierce is saying is actually true. This is also part of the reason why this kicked off, because of this false narrative about who this person was and where they came from. However, let's just be very, very clear. Piers Morgan is not concerned about these young girls. He's not concerned about what led to this. He's not concerned about anything at all other than his career. He's trying to get an interview with Elon Musk. That's why he tweeted this. Also, a lot of people have been asking me, why hasn't the government called in the military? I think they're avoiding that. And I think it's good that they're avoiding that, because it will then create a narrative that, the government is being very iron-handed. And as this person said, stories have power, and there is a story they are desperate to tell. A tale of people persecuted by their own rulers who rise up against them. This story portrays them as heroes, not as villains. So they're desperate to look for a chance to tell it. Starmer, however, is keen to tell a different story of a minority of thugs who are causing criminal damage, who wind up in prison paying the price of their criminality. Um, Starmer knows there are outsiders desperate to bolster the lie. People like Elon Musk, who prattle on about civil war. We fool ourselves into thinking Musk doesn't know what he's talking about, but he does. He wants to push the lie. And so the government tread a tight rope right now, wary lest they overstep and give the liars the tools they need to bolster the lie. That, I think, is why Starmer is so reluctant to call in the army. He senses a trap. That exactly. And I agree. I think it'll be a mistake to call in the army, because actually, um, you've seen kind of bursts of rioting in different parts of the UK, but it's I mean the rioters have been moving around, but it's still relatively isolated. I don't think that it is necessary to bring in the army, and I think that will actually do more damage than good. And I just wanted to read this out from Ellie Wilson, because I think this Ellie Wilson, who's an amazing campaigner, she's also a survivor of abuse. She said, "3 little girls were murdered in a place that should have been safe, and instead of focusing on them and the epidemic of violence against women and girls, we're now having to deal with far-right thugs who are tearing apart communities, attacking police, and lynching minorities. However, these people don't care about that. They weren't protesting for Sarah Everard or Zara Alina. They weren't protesting the fact that AP is at the Olympics or an R is running for president of the United States. They responded to violence with more violence. As an R survivor and grandchild of immigrants, I feel dismayed, terrified on all fronts. What is happening sickens me to my core. This is awful. Awful. Attacks should have been the turning point in clamping down on femicide. Instead, it's ushered in yet more violence. Exactly. I think that that really sums up my feelings about all of this. As a consequence to all of this, um, countries have started to issue travel warnings to the UK, Australia, Nigeria, Indonesia, Malaysia, all issuing travel warnings. And I personally, I think that this will all kind of have died down by the end of the week. It's already dying down. You're seeing more peaceful counter protesters than you are seeing rioters. And I think it will be very much like the riots that we had some time ago. Within a week, it would have all died down. But it is quite scary to see that this sentiment is there. I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but a couple of days ago, I did see someone on the bus with a Trump hat. Now, I live in the suburbs. I don't live in a touristy area. Um, the bus that I took, there's only maybe 3 or 4 stops before it gets to where I am. And all of that area, this is like suburb, um, conservative, relatively conservative London. So it's not a touristy area. It's not an area where expats or generally come to live. They tend to live a lot more central, and I know because I heard his voice that this guy was definitely English. So I think these people are definitely feeling a little bit more emboldened, and it's kind of scary to see this. Um, but hopefully, at least the violence will die down. But you know that the sentiment is there, and you know to just be a little bit more careful. One of the leaders in all of this is a guy named Tommy Robinson. I don't know what his real name is, but it's not that. Um, he has fled. I mean, he's been part of the far right wing for a long time. He's been a figure in this space for a very very long time. He fled to Cyprus, and he tweeted, "My kids are crying. We come here so I could spend some quality time with them. Now they are scared people are coming to get them. The Daily Mail have purposely doxed the exact location of my family. How can they be allowed to do this?" Oh, didn't you know, Tommy? This is what the British tabloids do. When you are in a vulnerable position and people are after you, they leak your location. They never like it when it happens to them. And I just find it hilarious that this person actually fled to Cyprus. Well, he's now apparently in Athens. He basically doxed himself because people managed to figure out from his background exactly where he is. Is this person going to come back to the UK? I mean, if he does, there will be people after him. Yes, Claudia. Harry's words are coming to pass. Indeed. Um, like I said, anyone under the age of the girls? I think they were all under the age of like 8. They're very, very young. Samantha, and please explain to Baron that there are plenty of middle and wealthy people like this. Yesterday, he was basically making fun of stereotyping people as being poor. Yeah, I think I think this is a misunderstanding of a lot of people. Like it's just poor, and actually, that there's also plenty of poorer people. In fact, they're the majority of the counter protesters. Um, who have been taken to the streets protecting their community. So this isn't exclusively a thing of class and wealth. I think people across wealth levels share these sentiments. It's just the people who are wealthier, they're just more hidden. That's what it is. And part of the problem, and again, I'm not excusing these people. I think they're gross, but part of the problem, because I think we have to have a very nuanced conversation about this, is that a lot of these people do feel, the ones who are poorer, do feel very disenfranchised. And when the government um, doesn't create opportunity for people, you open the door for people like Tony Robinson to then come in and be this, this leader of the lost. And that's partly what's also led to this. You see the same thing in the US, but it is true that it's across, both poorer, middle class, richer, and aristo people. And in fact, is the people at the very top that have created this culture, the Rothamirs and the Murdochs, that then trickles down all the way to the bottom. Oh, and in all of this, what are the royals actually doing? Well, Kate's going to join William and the kids for a break. A break from what? I don't know. They're having a vacation from a vacation. Charles is off to. Oh, he was at some festival the other day. I did see. Lightside sent it to me. Breaking news. That Charles wants updates. I mean, for me, this is an issue for the government to sort out. What is Charles gonna do? Seriously, physically, what is he gonna do? And over the weekend, he went to the May Highland Games and was shaking people's hands. Um, Awful way for Starmer to start his government, honestly, having to deal with this. But yeah, the royals are taking a holiday from a holiday. I mean, I guess given why this started, given that the far right wing, are using this as an opportunity to, bolster their narrative, they're trying to stay away because if the royals are seen as sympathetic, they can actually tick off um, the side that support them the most, and I think they know this, so they're being very, very careful, very, very careful. But we're told over and over again that they're meant to be a unifying force. Yes, come unify. The people are divided. Oh dear. Anyway, I didn't have a whole lot to say today. Just wanted to explain a little bit more to people that maybe didn't understand what was going on or why things kicked off. But I do believe that by the end of the week, this would have all died down. At least the rioting and the protesting would have died down. The sentiment is still 100% there. Also, oh yeah, like so, is it too late to move the Invictus Games? I mean, I was very excited about the prospect of Invictus being in Birmingham, but I don't know if yeah, having seen everything the last few days, some of this was going down in Birmingham. To be honest, the Invictus Games can still happen whether or not Harry and Meghan are there, because it's for the athletes. I think it's nice if they are there, but Harry's been proven right. Him and his family aren't safe. Meghan isn't safe. Um, all right, I will end with a small snippet from my book. Oh, actually, before I get to that, just by the way, Daniel Martin, who is one of Megan's makeup artists, but one that she uses quite often, and also a close friend, he did a little a video with Allure, and he was talking about some of the products that he uses with his clients, and he mentioned Megan, and he said that for this particular look, and when he's doing her lips, he sets her lips with the Kissu lip mask by Tatcha. So if you wanted to know what's in Megan's beauty closet, there it is. And by the way, I don't know if because I don't really talk about this too much. I just posted it once and then I don't think I ever posted it again. But I did start an Amazon storefront with things that like Megan had mentioned from the TIG or kind of dupes of things that were kind of like seen from around her house. So that's the link to the Amazon shop, by the way. If you've and I'm gonna add to it eventually. But yeah, if you want to shop Megan dupes or things from like a Tig era, there you go. So stuff like this. I'm definitely gonna give this a try. Dee Dee, you said, and I love your tweet about is that Invictus Games and Birmingham. I never thought it was a wise business decision, but after the riots, as long as Trump doesn't win, DC would be amazing for the vets. Do you know what? I honestly I think even if Trump did win and they were to move it to DC, it would still be a better choice than Birmingham at this point. Because even with Trump as president, they're not going to do anything to mess up anything related to the vets. That for sure. Even if Trump is president, that they're not going to meddle around with anything to do with veterans. So it would still be a better choice. And you said Daniel and Megan have turned my life upside down with that touch of mask. It's so difficult to find the mask in Portugal. You're gonna have to order it. Have to order it in. Can you get Amazon in Portugal? All right. Yes. Last thing that I wanted to do was read a short snippet from my book. So, to start giving you an idea of exactly what is going to be written, this is from chapter 3 of Royal Codes. Feeling pity for the fool who chooses cruelty does not mean you condone their actions, but rather that you recognize that their cruelty is a reflection of their own inner turmoil and dissatisfaction. When someone is unkind, it often stems from a place of pain, insecurity, or lack of fulfillment in their own life. They lash out because they haven't found the peace and contentment that you have. Instead of reacting with anger or resentment, your kindness can serve as a mirror, reflecting back to them the contrast between your calm and their chaos. Duchess of Success, Royal Codes, Chapter 3. Right, and with that, I will end the podcast. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, Vera, member for 11 months. Yay! Yeah, one more month and it'll be a year that you've been a member. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. All right, folks. I think a lot of you are over in the States, so I guess you're probably going to sleep. So, good night. And those of you on this side of the planet, enjoy the rest of your day. Lightside, please read more. I will read more. I will read more in the coming weeks, and we will have a whole reading party. You can read, you and Rahini Lightside. You can read like a chapter in our viewing party. All right, folks. See you later. Ciao.
I don't know how or how you do it. You blow my mind without a word. Ooh, stuck upside down. I might be dreaming. There's no way back now. Take every inch of my body. Wanna dance with you all night long. Dive in, babe, you know we can't stop this. Come on and show me what you got. 'Cause I don't care if they think we're mad to be falling in love with you. I'll do it again and again and again and again. Why would I fight the things I'm feeling? Rather space out here next to you. Ooh, like astronauts, we're in the night sky and we won't come down. Make every inch of my body. Wanna dance with you all night long. Dive in, babe, you know we can't stop this. Come on and show me what you got. 'Cause I don't care if they think we're mad to be falling in love with you. I'll do it again and again and again and again.